had 4 new cases yesterday. A mother and child that traveled from the United States into Lagos, a gentleman that traveled from London into Lagos, and an American citizen that crossed the border, the Benin Republic border, into Nigeria. All 4 of them tested positive, and all 4 of them have been admitted at the Yaba Biosecurity Unit, infectious disease hospital. They're all doing well, under isolation. So that was in addition to our index case, the Italian gentleman, and the lady that traveled from the United Kingdom, who was our 3rd case. Our 2nd case, as you recall, was discharged and has gone back to Ogun State. So everybody is doing well. I have the good news to tell you that the index case has now cleared the virus. So we will check him one more time, and if he's negative, he will be discharged. In the course of yesterday, we performed 19 tests on suspected cases and contacts of the new cases that were admitted the day before. Out of those 19 tests, we have 4 new positives. The first new positive is a contact of the 3rd case that came from the UK. So she has tested positive, and she will be admitted shortly. We have a new case, a female Nigerian, returning from France via Istanbul on Turkish airline. She arrived in Lagos on the 14th of March from Turkish airline TK 1830. I repeat, Turkish airline arrived in Lagos 14th March, flight number TK 1830. We have a 3rd case, a Nigerian male in his 50s. He's never traveled anywhere, and he presented with symptoms. He was referred to us. We went to retrieve the sample. The sample tested positive, and he has since been admitted into our facility. Our 4th case is a Nigerian male. He arrived on the 13th of March from Frankfurt to Lagos on Lufthansa. Frankfurt, Lagos, Lufthansa, flight number LH568. I repeat, Lufthansa, 13th March, flight number LH568. So that's the sum total of activity as of yesterday. We are currently running more tests on suspected cases and contacts of our confirmed cases.
So, getting information about COVID-19 to the local, well, the grassroots, as we would say. There's been a lot of interaction. Now, at the local government level, we have health educators, and as we speak, the health educators are meeting with the World Health Committees, and they're meeting with World Focal Groups. In Lagos, we have over 3,000 wards, and they're meeting with representatives there. They are informing them, educating them about COVID-19. Apart from that, on the BRT buses, they started on some of the routes displaying information in local language, in Yoruba, subtitled in English. We have that. And we've gone on to the radio in local languages as well, trying to educate people every day, daily, for the past few weeks. We've been on the radio every day in the morning in our local language, informing people. We've had market storms. We're not only coming on TV to address you. We've been to a couple of markets in Lagos, and we're continuing with that as well to see how we can get the message across to the grassroots. It's an ongoing process. It's continuous, and it's active right now. Thank you.
That we have a combination of imported cases and local transmission. And the executive of the Lagos State government are meeting in various groups and virtually to decide on the next step, which will include the concept of social distancing. In other words, we'll be using the opportunity to educate Lagosians and Nigerians that the best way to slow down this outbreak is to stop the opportunity for the virus to move from person to person. The virus cannot jump a distance. It has to move either through contact or very close proximity, or if you touch the surface of any item that an infected person has also touched. So in that regard, there are several stages of social distancing, and you need to look out on our social media handles and the material that we're going to be circulating both in the press, on video format, and on our social media to understand the principles of social distancing. But effectively, it means no touching. It means if you're unwell, stay at home, particularly if you have respiratory symptoms. Communicate with your medical professionals and personnel. If you are worried, you contact any of our hotlines, and the best line to use is 08000 Corona. I repeat, 08000 Corona. 08000 Corona. On your smartphone, you'll be able to dial that number and you'll be plugged into our helplines, and we'll be able to give you advice and assistance. Please do not test the line. Every time you test it, you are blocking it from someone else who has serious concerns. And do not use it frivolously. We're appealing to everyone that has been on these 2 flights that I've announced. Turkish Airline arriving on the 14th of March, TK 1830. If you are on that flight, please self-isolate yourself or isolate yourself. And you can reach out to us if you have concerns. If you are on Lufthansa, arriving in Lagos on the 13th of March, flight number LH568. Once again, isolate yourself for 14 days, and if you have issues, symptoms, any respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, shortness of breath, body pains, you can give us a call and we will arrange to have you tested, and if you're positive, we will arrange for you to be admitted in our facilities. Once again, it's important that Lagosians do not panic. This is happening in many countries around the world, and many countries are able to overcome the situation. But we need to be vigilant, and we need to be responsible members of society. If we ask you and advise you to self-isolate, please follow our instructions. It is much easier for us to manage your family contacts than it is for us to start tracing all the people that you may have been in contact if you leave your home. We are following over 1,300 people right now, trying to find information about their state of health. And with every day, that number is increasing as more and more people are developing the coronavirus infection. So I'm open for questions.